Just that light, turning that thing on. Is it working? I think it is. Probably can't see me very well. And I promise. I shouldn't make promises. I don't like making promises. Because look, I don't know about other people planning for their lives, but I've never been able to really have a goal of my own. Just when I thought, okay, I take that back. I have had goals, allowed to have goals, allowed? Shit, this isn't going very well. Goals like, painting or training my dog, or I help my son through some really hard stuff. I'd have to get his permission to go into detail about that. Oh my god. I have something. It's an anecdote about, I'd say, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. I used to have a band in LA called Raw Reality, and there was a woman that had discovered I played piano, and she wanted to start a band in LA. And I was having a hard enough time in the outskirts of LA, and I didn't realize that when I moved to LA, what a toll it would take on me, mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually. Let's just say I was like a guppy in a tank of sharks. But fortunately, like, I ended up at this party in Malibu, which is some of the richest people in Hollywood. Well, I really wouldn't know, actually, because for every dollar, I think about a dollar, and when I think about a dollar, they're probably thinking about, for every dollar, probably $5,000 to every dollar I can even imagine. So, anyway, so this girl that I started the band with, I was basically writing all the fucking music. She'd come in and she'd say, I had this issue at work. And the boss, so we wrote a song called The Boys Can't Take It. Like, actually, she wrote that song. It was like, the boys can't take it, the boys can't take it, they just can't take it, they just might fake it, the boys can't take it. Fuck, I hated that fucking song. Yet I had to write the fucking chords to it and stuff. But other than that, all the other music I wrote. I wrote a song called The Falcon of the Fist. And it was like the falcon of the fist in flight, floated with the changing winds that blew, forever enjoying her freedom. Okay, a whole different mindset, you want to say. She was more bangles and bebop. And I was more, probably grassroots. Anywhere from Megadeth to fucking Beethoven, man! Anyway, so look, we started a band, all-girl band, and the girls in the band were always meeting with me and saying, we got to get, they didn't like her. They did not like her. She wanted to play guitar too, right? And we were like, just stick with singing unless you're going to practice before you come to our practice sessions. You practice because you hold us all up. But she didn't, no, she didn't do that. And she'd stand on a chair above all of us. Anyway, I ended up taking off to Canada. LA, it was driving me crazy. I was starting to get really aggressive. I was at that party. That night at that party in Malibu, I kind of felt like I had been brought as a sacrificial lamb or something. I don't know what my girl was trying to get me into, but they were offering drinks and everything else, and since I didn't like alcohol, I probably spared myself from getting roofied. But as the night went on, I started feeling like they wanted to eat me. Seriously, I felt like these people wanted to eat me alive. And you have to understand, I was like 20, 21 years old, young. And I felt it. And I told her, I said, look, I'm not going to mention her name, but I want to go home. I don't want to stay at this party. And she was like, well, I'm staying. Okay, and I think we both had our own vehicles. And I said, well, I'm leaving. Okay, and so I left, and I took off and went back to the apartment. I think she ended up getting gang raped that night. But she was always getting into that kind of stuff anyway, okay? She was always experimenting like that. And I'm not saying, many of my friends were like that. They were using drugs and illicit sex and stuff because we were musicians. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I was a dancer too for a while, and they used to call me a rainbow in the dark. I didn't think like they did. Anyway, okay, let's move forward to now, okay? So I recently reconnected with this, I guess my old singer. If I really believe if I had listened to the other band members, maybe I wouldn't have gone crazy and just took off to Canada, okay, and just dropped the whole band. And people were starting to hear of us and stuff, and that's kind of a thing in LA. Anyway, so fast forward to now. She's a teacher. And she had so many problems, and I have so many stories she would call me with when she was teaching. Like one poor kid, she referred to him as a lost cause. And I was like, what the fuck? That's coming from a grade school teacher. And I think she was given all the shitty assignments because I don't think she was very well liked by the students or faculty. And recently, they did screw her over. She got injured supposedly at work. I don't know. Anyway, they hired her back just long enough to say, see, you're not disabled, but she was having a really hard time pushing herself. And then when she quit, or they fired her, or she moved on, or whatever, she lost all those benefits. Now, that's a thing. A lot of businesses are doing that. They're fucking unscrupulous motherfuckers. There's two sides to everything on this. But I'm just trying to refer to this. I don't even want to call her a friend. Okay? I am so fed up with the bullshit. should come and leave comments on my channel, just quotes out of the Bible. And you know, every person that's ever fucked me over in my family or friends sends those Christmas cards or a card that has a quote out of the Bible. They don't have to say anything, write anything. How are you? How's your son? What you been up to? Fuck off. Anything! And then when you see them or you start to communicate, they rely on that. They will come out with their brick and they will just start laying on all this shit they don't know anything about. Just to, like, they can stand over us on the chair, huh, girl? Stand over all of us on the chair. You got to stand on the chair so you feel bigger and better than the rest of us who probably have a little more natural talent. You know, I always felt bad. Okay? You could sing pretty good. And if you would have gone with that, that's fine. But as far as your guitar playing and playing piano and stuff, let's just say you didn't have parents like mine that were so stringent, so disciplined, making me be so disciplined that I ended up with this talent. Okay? By age 9, and I know Mozart was doing it at 5, but at age 9, I could read music and a book. Like it was like another language, okay? And theory and all that, okay? And then when you just want to come along and start playing some kumbaya, a few chords, and I take what I was conditioned to do on piano and apply it to guitar, you're going to have a hard time keeping up with me. My parents paid for the classes. I did all the time. I put all the time into it. I mean, like my practice sessions weren't sit down and learn how to play a song by someone. No, it was 10 minutes on scales, 10 minutes on arpeggios, 10 minutes on your sonatinas, 10 minutes on, you know, the pieces. Like the Hungarian dance. Or, anyway, I'm kind of going off subject here. Alright, so recently, she says her son, because now she's got a happy family. I don't want to go through the fucking bullshit I saw go down. I was supposed to be the maid of honor at their wedding, but hubby didn't. He was afraid one of his buddies, one of his CEO buddies, would recognize me because I was an entertainer. I didn't even dance nude. Ever, ever, ever. We danced in all kinds of cool costumes. I played guitar. All kinds of stuff. But no. So the dress, I guess I had to just eat that. Right? Anyway, so constantly judging me. Things with the kids, her kids, and they have been her kids have been properly programmed by the education system, and she herself ended up to be a half-assed teacher. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't, any teacher that would say any grade school child is a lost cause. Anyway, so she says, oh, her son, I guess the son she had with the CEO husband that had already proposed to me before he settled for her. I wonder if he even gave her the ring he offered me. Because I lived with him as his housekeeper. I never had sex, never kissed him, never, I couldn't. No. Anyway, so here it is. I'm getting down to why I decided I wanted to record this. So her boy now is marrying a black girl from, I don't know, Nigeria or whatever. And she just couldn't help but have to tell me that, you know. And so there was an issue. Or they went in with their new daughter-in-law and to a restaurant in San Francisco. Hey? I mean, come on. San Francisco, sanctuary city. This is like, oh my God. I can't even fucking believe she sees things like this. You know what's happened to San Francisco, right? Okay. Well, she goes in her white ass self with her black daughter-in-law and says, well, they set us with, I don't even remember, did they set them on the black side or the white side? She was like, oh, well, you could see a wall in the restaurant when we were sitting down. And I was like, I didn't understand. I was like, don't all restaurants have walls? She said, no, a wall in the middle of the restaurant. Black people on one side, white people on the other. And I'm like, I don't know if I would have even noticed something like that. I would not have. Because I don't see color, okay? I see personality, I see character, I see merit. And go figure, she's a fucking teacher who was fucked over by the very system she supports. Okay, I'm like, well, wait a minute. And then they were like, well, they set us there, they set us on the white side, and it made her feel very uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable, and there we were. We felt so uncomfortable. What? Okay, so now let's see. If they would have seated you on the black side, then what would you have said? Oh, they discriminated and they set us on the black side just because my son was here with his black wife. What the fuck? Okay. And so just recently, she has taken her, okay, well, and I could like really drive this home. What ended our friendship, she doesn't realize. But what ended our friendship was I got tired of going out. We were always going out. She had more energy than me to go out. And she was married and being supported by his CEO husband. She had a black boyfriend, which that doesn't matter. But he was a homeless guy. And she would talk to my teenage boy about his member. Her homeless lover's big ass dick. She's lucky I didn't know. I didn't find out while she was here. She tried to get my son to hit her so she could videotape it and blame her husband. Now, they decided to stay together. Of course, they didn't want to divide their finances. Now they're a happy family, right? Oh my God! And they're all like 3 feet around, including her daughter. It's just this big fucking fat thing with all the privilege in the world, working at the governor's or she's actually working at the Attorney General's office or something like that. So, of course, anytime Mommy writes a letter, it gets a response. And I've seen what she writes when she comes on my channel. How the fuck? And it's like, how was that even a teacher? Anyway, I'm just going to let this stop here for now. I'm going to get up and get a drink of water and stuff. I might continue to record. I'll see how this sounds. Alright.